Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sallystampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my Ombre gift bag and card. It's a bit of a mix-up of projects today. I was very aware that on my blog and social media I do a lot of cards, and then obviously I only do tutorials really for my 3D projects, but I've had a few people contact me say, you know, where do you start with cards, how do you make them, what are the measurements, etc. So I thought, why not combine a card with a project for a tutorial, and then I can explain it a lot easier. So as I said, these gorgeous ombre gift bags, you get 20 in a pack, so they are fabulous. All of the 2021 to 23 in colours, so they are gorgeous. So I've gone with soft succulent here, and today I'm going to be creating, why won't that one go down, there we go, a fresh freesia, so you get to see sort of a lighter and a darker one. So as you can see, I've just decorated this, and again I'm trying to use some of the annual catalogue products because we just have so many that I think you might get a bit overwhelmed, but I love this one for its simplicity and its coordination. So if you can see here, I've die cut this lovely square, backed it on some basic white, but also we have a coordinating flower, so you could actually die cut this in any colour you want and add it on. So you could add a pop of colour or leave it, and I've just die cut these little flowers out of our gold foil sheet just for a little bit of bling, because you know me, I have to add my bling. So I've embossed this bag as well, which just takes away from the plainness, but you don't have to cover it with stamping or anything like that. And then inside, so these actually work as envelopes as well as cards. So a similar card, very basic, but you know, it coordinates with the bag, and I love it. I think it's so sweet. So we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to make both. So I'm going to be quite quick. So for your card base, this is simply a sheet of A4. Let me just quickly grab one to show you. So this is simply a sheet of A4 that is scored in half and then cut in half, and that will create 2 card bases for me. I then use my basic white, and I will get 4 bases out of one sheet. The difference being that these are 1/2 centimetre shorter and 1/2 centimetre wider, so they will just layer nicely on your card base. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my fresh freesia and do my stamping. So all squared away, lovely stamp set. You've got squares of patterns that you can put behind your flowers or whatever you choose to use. I'm going back with happiest of birthdays. Notice that I will always stamp before I do anything else, so then if it goes wrong I can either turn it over or get another piece. To line up your cling stamp sets, I swear by grid paper. It is a lifesaver for everything I do, and some of my tutorials that are coming up this week and next week, you will notice that I use it a lot more. Excuse me. So to line up a cling stamp, put your block on your grid paper and line it up with the lines, doesn't matter where. Then get your stamp, and for me that happiest is a straight line across the top. So I'm simply going to get my head probably in the camera, but I'm going to look down and I'm going to line the top of happiest up with a line that's going through the clear block that I can see. That way I now know that when I come to stamp, if I stamp with my block square in the corner, I know my sentiment is going to be straight too. So again, line it up on your grid paper. This is more for beginners, just to get a hang of where things are. You'll soon realise you don't need to do that, but this is the best way of getting a straight stamp. Then simply, as I said, line your block up and stamp it on. And as you can see, I've now got a nice straight sentiment in the corner there. Okay, Okay, so once that's done, get that out of the way, bringing in my Floral Squares dies. So these coordinate with the stamp set, and as I said, I've done the same here as I have with the other one. I'm going to go with this, in fact, you know what, I'm going to go with this one, I think. Just, no I'm not, I'm going to stick with this one. So I need that part, that's the one that coordinates, and then I just need those small ones. So I'm just going to move this out of the way for a minute, and then I'm going to bring in my big boss. And the reason I'm doing this is just because I'm going to cheat a little. So I need some fresh freesia. Okay, my boards might be helpful here. So I need some fresh freesia for that. I need some basic white, and I've just got some scrap here that I need for that. And what have I done with them? Here they are. And then I've got some gold foil sheets here just for this one. Now this is a little bit narrow, to be honest, but it works a treat, and I'll show you. So I'm going to run all of this through. None of it is required to be lined up with any stamping, so it doesn't matter if they move slightly. So we'll get this out of the way. Where's my piercing on? Okay. I'm going to run it back through though, because obviously I'll need it for the packaging, the envelope stroke bag. So I've got one of those. I've got one of those. I have 3 of those. And then I'm going to run it through again. So just do exactly the same again, because as I said, I will need all of this for the envelope anyway. So just run it back through. I'll just move that out of the way. Take that one out. So that one, that can go away too. So I've got a white flower. I have my, so I'm just going to pop those to one side. I actually only need one more of those. That again can go over there. And then just very quickly, I then need to run this through for just my card. So just run that through again. And actually I do need some more gold ones, so I'm just going to run it through once more with some gold. Let's pop those on there. That out of the way. Back in with the gold. Once more through. And then that's that. Right. Whilst I've... Oh, actually, no, I won't. I'll finish my card off first. Otherwise, I'll just confuse you. Or confuse myself, more like. Okay, so let's have that out of the way. So then bring back in your card base and your white layer. So I've got some of my gorgeous fresh freesia open weave ribbon, and I just want to measure enough to go round my card there. And I'm just going to turn this over, and I swear by Seal Plus or your tear and tape for any ribbon adherent, because I think it works wonders. So I'm going to pop that on. Oops, wrong side. Try again. So I'm going to try again, popping it on this side. And you'll notice I've not put any adhesive on here. And I will show you why in just a second. So make sure that's level. And then I'm going to go in with my multi-purpose now. Make sure I've got a bit on that ribbon. And then I can stick this onto my card base. And the best way of doing this, I look at the three sides at the bottom. So I just simply pop it on, and then I'm eyeballing this side and the base, just to make sure they're all equal in gap. And then once that's fit, there we go. So that's your card base layered on. This little beauty I don't need to back because it's going onto white anyway. So back in with my wet glue on my Tombow, and I'm just gonna you don't want a crazy amount of this glue on because it will just squeeze out and go everywhere. So just a bit on each part like so, and then I'm going to pop this onto, oops, my card. So it's going around there then. So press those bits down that have the adhesive. I then need my little white flower that's going to sit on the top. Now it does have a certain way of fitting, so if I was you, I'd twist and turn it round until you're happy with the placement, which feels like it takes forever when you're doing it. Right, it goes that way, so I'm literally just going to tip it over, add some adhesive, and then tip it back. And now I know that it will be in the right place. And then glue dots are what I used for these little flowers. So literally just roll your glue dots out and add these lovely flowers. And then you can just stick these on. But what I did do is I got one extra glue dot and I just hid it underneath the ribbon in the centre, so it just holds it down. And then I placed strategically my flowers over the top. Just want to turn that one round. I've got a very small bit here where it missed the edge when I was die cutting, so I'm going to tuck that one underneath so you don't actually see that sliced edge. And then these literally just go anywhere. A spare one. So that is my flower, and then you just simply fold in half and then fold and burnish that top to make it nice and crisp. And there's your card. And then to make your gorgeous bag, move these out of the way. So I'm actually going to stick, let's just have that one. I'm going to stick these onto here so I don't lose them in the process, or they get blown off my paper and then I lose them. So stick those on there, and then back in with this one. So what I do need to do, not quite big enough, is just grab some of my basic white to stick this onto. So exactly the same process as you did with the card. So a little bit of glue all around the edge. And then I'm just going to stick this into the corner here of my basic white, press it down, and then just cut. And I hold my scissors at an angle so it kind of undercuts slightly, and that way I then know that I'm not going to have any white showing from underneath. Okay. And then I need to stick this flower on. So again, get your placement of it right, so it's not that way, that way. So I'm just going to quickly stick that on, and at least this can then be drying just while I emboss my envelope or my bag. So that sticks on there. And then I'm just going to pop that out of the way. So in with the Ombre gift bag, I do find it better to use one of our larger dies because it just uses the whole bag. This is the Parisian Flourish, and I'm simply going to pop this in all the way up to the hinge, and as you can see it just goes up to the top, so hold on to that. And then if you bring your boss in again, the base here will actually tell you which setup to use. And these are 3D embossing folders. So therefore you need base number 1 and number 4 only. Always put your hinge in first, sandwich on top, and through you go. Now the only thing I did find with mine, let's move that out of the way, the only thing I did find was that this sometimes is a little thin, and I noticed on this one it did cut into the bag just very slightly, so you do need to be careful with it. And then it is quite delicate here, so you just need to very gently prise the embossed parts apart. Don't forget to write your card before you pop it in here. But then, as you can see, it fits perfectly with where your embossing finishes. So you can just fold it over. Yes, it's torn again this side, so just be gentle with it. Fold that over, back in with my gorgeous coordinating ribbon, and then you just need to tie a bow. So I'm just going to bring this up here and then just tie a little bow at the top. Okay, and then we can just, I'm just going to trim these just a fraction, and then I just want to add my decoration. So my little flower die, I'm going to use some dimensionals, and I want to get them right up to the edge on all 4 corners, just to give myself some room for the ribbon to sit through the centre, because it's going to sit over the top. So we'll just take those off there, and you can, if you need to, you can slide your ribbon across slightly, and then this will sit over like so, and then we can pop our gorgeous little flowers on. Oops, so I've just put one on the corner there, and then I have one, oops, again I have one that was just slightly off the gold off the edge of the paper. There's just a sort of a flat edge, so I'm going to pop that one there and that one to cover it. And then this last one just there. And that is it. So I'm going to quickly pop this one back in. In fact, I won't. I'll just tie this one up. But that is how you make a nice card and envelope, I guess. I'll try and do this bow nice again now. This just won't happen, will it? Now I'm rushing. Oh, I don't know, actually. Not too bad. But there you go. Those are my gorgeous ombre gift bags and envelopes. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye.